Imagine a place where dreams turn into nightmares, where the promise of a new life ends in tragedy. This is the story of the Vu family. Forest Lawn North, a quiet cemetery in Houston, holds the graves of World War II and Korean War vets, country folks, and infants. But it also holds a darker secret. By summer's end, there were still no markers for the children of Vu Din Chung. Their graves were easy to find, marked by the green floral paper left by friends. Between the tombstone of Vu Din Chung and the graves of his grandchildren, a small space held 2 cans of Budweiser and cigarette butts, an offering to the children's father. The deaths of Vu Din Chung and his 4 children briefly haunted American readers. Father kills 4 children, himself, read the headline, followed by horrific details. Chung had taken Polaroid portraits of his children before killing them with a .45 caliber pistol, one day after his wife filed for divorce and left town with her lover. In Houston's Vietnamese community, the tragedy lingered like smoke after a fire. It was a story about America, not just about Orientals. In Little Saigon, people argued about Vu Din Chung's madness and Vu Lam Hu's infidelity. Life in America was both too easy and too hard. Chung and his wife failed to see the danger in picking and choosing from what their adopted land had to offer, a perilous folly that cost their children their lives. Brentwood Village, once home to Houston's swinging singles, became a refuge for struggling immigrants. It was here that the tragedy unfolded. On the evening of April 18, Brentwood tenants gathered outside apartment 3. Shots had been heard, and the police were called. The police broke down the door to find a scene of horror. Bodies awash in blood, a bottle of vodka, and Polaroids of the children on the table. Chung's note to his wife read, "These are the last pictures. You will never be able to see these kids again." The Vu family's journey to America began with hope. They fled Vietnam after the fall of Saigon, seeking a better life. Allen Parkway Village was their first home in Houston, a place of racial tension and crime, but also a place where they tried to hold on to their culture. Chung's father set up a barbershop in their apartment, and the family celebrated the birth of a son. But there were also signs of trouble. Chung struggled to find stable work, moving from job to job, his temper often getting the best of him. His beer drinking increased, along with his frustration. Hugh, a perfect North Vietnamese woman, found work at a tailor shop. She wanted nothing but to be free of government support and to raise her children well. But Hugh's life was defined by domestic pressures. Money was tight, and Chung's anger grew. She found solace in an old friend, Tran Van Duong. Their affair was an open secret in the Vietnamese community, a reminder of what they had lost. Hugh was like a butterfly, too much in love to heed warnings. Chung's anger reached a boiling point. He warned Hugh in implicit and explicit ways that he had thoughts of violence. Hugh finally took action, seeking a divorce. But Chung had his own plans. He called his nephew Kai, telling him to take care of his grandmother. On April 18, Chung took his children to Kmart, bought a Polaroid camera, a case of beer, and a .45 automatic. He was calm, methodical. That evening, he took several portraits of his children, then executed the perfect punishment to torture their mother forever. Close to 500 people attended the funerals. Hugh drifted through the service like a wraith, accepting condolences but also scorn. Kai, now in charge, demanded Hugh admit her affair. She whispered, yes. Many Vietnamese blamed her for the deaths of her children. Hugh's only activities now are volunteering at the church and visiting the cemetery. She is a woman haunted by her past. Americans lapse into stereotypes, saying Orientals do not value life as we do. The Vietnamese blame the pressures of life in the US. Teenagers wonder why the children did not run from their father. The truth is they faced a man possessed of lethal anger and a gun. The Vu's apartment remains empty, blessed by a priest. Hugh often visits, wandering through the empty rooms, haunted by memories. The story of the Vu family is a tragic tale of dreams turned into nightmares, of the dangers of trying to pick and choose from what America has to offer. In the end, it's a story of life and death in the melting pot. What happened to the Vu family could happen to any family. Stay vigilant, stay compassionate.